Hi, it's Agnes and welcome back to my channel. So I am back again today with some of my vintage designer handbags that I picked so that I can share with you. So the reason that I'm doing this is to show you that some of the bags have actually, they're vintage, but they have made a comeback, and they're trending. A good example that I have is this nylon bag right here, the Prada nylon bag. I'm sure you've seen in the recent years that Prada is using their nylon again to make it. They're actually making different designs like backpacks and crossbody bags, but this is a vintage Prada nylon bag, but it's still in a very good condition. And I just love the interior. It's got the Prada inside, and it's got the kind of a leather trim on top, and the gold hardware is stunning. So yeah, the nylon is made a comeback. You can find nylon in the Prada stores. So yeah, so this is a typical example, and obviously there are modern sort of designs. A good example is this one right here, my Prada mini bag in the Saffiano leather. So this is a proper modern design which they make in different colors. So this is not vintage, so I was just trying to compare how fashion kind of revolves, and these were kind of popular, but this is now popular, the nylon. And then I have another kind of old or vintage typical Prada design, this big tote bag, but obviously this is the more modern one. So another good example that I would like to share with you is Fendi. Way back, Fendi, they didn't use leather, I think. They used their canvas in this monogram, the brown and beige monogram. But now they do use, they use their leather a lot. I do have a Fendi Peekaboo, but I haven't put it out. But anyway, so we're talking about the vintage that has kind of made a comeback. So the Fendi monogram is back and trending, and they make it in different colors as well. But this is the classic Fendi, the brown and the beige monogram, the F, the two Fs. So yeah, this one is my vintage piece that I got. Is it maybe a couple of years ago or so, and I do like it. And this is actually my favorite color. I know they're making different colors, but the classic one does it for me. So it's again, it's something worth keeping because now I can use it and look kind of trendy. But it is a classic monogram or classic bag. So another one that I'd like to show you is actually famous. It's the Christian Dior saddle bag. So this bag did exist like way back, and they commonly made it in like the monogram, like black and white. I think whether it's navy and white monogram print, but this is also a monogram, but it is in all black, and it's got the leather strap. So this bag did exist, I think, was it in the 80s, I think, or the 70s, I'm not sure. The saddle bag did exist, and then it disappeared, and then it's back again. So Fendi is actually making these bags in different colors and in leather as well. But obviously the classic one is the monogram. So this is the classic one, the monogram canvas. So like I said, vintage pieces, if you have one, if you have a designer vintage piece, keep it, and then you can make use of it in future. For example, this saddle bag, but I just purchased this vintage piece, but it has made a huge comeback, and it's so expensive to buy right now. So again, this is a typical example of Christian Dior. Another Christian Dior that I'd like to show you is this canvas. Although I don't think this has made a comeback because they've changed their classic canvas design. It's more like this one, but obviously in color. I don't think they use this. They called it honeycomb. But yeah, this was called the honeycomb design. It was the vintage honeycomb Christian Dior design. So this is my Christian Dior top. But I mean, it's classic, the honeycomb, and because it's old and they don't make it anymore. That's what makes it worth keeping. So I like this vintage honeycomb Christian Dior print. Yeah. So another piece that I wanted to show you is the Gucci. So Gucci did design this bag. So this bag that I'm showing you is a vintage bag that I have in my collection. It's actually old. This bag was made in the 60s. You can check it online, check the history of Gucci classic bags. You will find this. It's always in the classic books, or rather designer handbag, or the classics. This design will always be there. So this is a typical example, and this is a real vintage bag. It's not a modern one, but I think 2 years ago till now, Gucci decided to reissue this bag. So this bag has been redesigned. It looks exactly the same. The only difference is that this is old and those are new, but it's actually the same. I don't see any difference if I check on it on the website. It's got this classic monogram. It's got this red and green ribbon. It's got, I think, kind of similar closure, but it's exactly the same bag. But they're making it in different colors as well. Whereas in the olden days, I think they only made it in black and brown in the leather. So this was the first print. This was the first design. And then obviously this is also a 60s bag. It was also designed in using the leather, the brown and the black. So this is a black one. I do have a brown Jackie also. This is called the Jackie bag, actually. The design, I don't know why it's called the Jackie. I don't know why I haven't researched why it was named Jackie O bag. So another piece that I will keep forever. So these are the classic pieces, like I said, existed or designed in the 60s, and then now they're making it again. So the same applies to this one. And then the good thing about this one, I think, so this was the first one, and then they started making longer straps. So this strap, you can actually remove it. That's one special thing about this bag. So obviously the ladies started wearing some shoulder bags. I think Coco Chanel is the one who kind of introduced shoulder bags, because they were tired of using the crook of the arm and holding it in their hand. So they just wanted to be like a bit, to be free a little bit. So Coco Chanel designed that kind of crossbody or shoulder bag. So then it becomes a shoulder bag. So that's just a piece to add on to make it longer. So again, I'm so glad that I have these pieces, these vintage pieces, because they're back in style. So another piece that I'd like to show you, I do have a modern Balenciaga bag, you know, the modern Balenciaga city bag, but I just wanted to show you this classic piece, which was made in the 60s as well, and it's so pretty. You can use it now. I do use it up to this day. So obviously I bought it pre-loved. I wasn't born then, obviously, when these bags were made. So, but it's a beautiful classic piece. So most of these bags are actually older than me. They are actually far much older than me. So another piece that I would like to share with you, it's this vintage Gianni Versace. So this was designed by Gianni Versace. It's kind of a sad story to this name, because Gianni Versace was murdered, was the fashion director of Versace. And then obviously at the moment is the sister Donatella Versace running will be as a director of the fashion house. So, but yeah, I love this bag. The fact that it's vintage, it's the 60s, 70s bag, which is in a very, very good condition. Very costly if you find them online. It's got this crook embossed leather, patent leather. It's just a beautiful classic to have. I mean, it's just that I don't know when to wear this bag. How can you wear it, or when? What sort of outfit do you think? If you have an idea, give me a clue or give me some advice. So this bag, I do struggle, like, what do I wear? Where do I go with this bag? So let me know what you think. Leave me a comment down below. So this is a beautiful classic bag, which, because it's vintage, I will keep this for a long time. So I keep these bags because I love them, and in the future, if something happened in future, like after a long time, my daughters will decide what to do with them, because my daughters are not really into bags, but I bought them Speedies each. They're not even interested in the Speedy bag, so hopefully one day. So the next bag, again, I'd like to show you, which is a classic, old classic, is this Celine. And Celine, I don't think they've gone back to their canvas, because they just use leather now, but they do make really beautiful bags. I like their designs. So this is a vintage Celine bag. So this was their monogram print, and this was their classic color, the brown, but it was they used it in beige as well. So yeah, it's a hobo bag, and it's got a zipper. I don't know why I don't like this bag. I bought it and I don't think I've ever used it, so I don't know. Actually, with Celine, I prefer the modern bags as compared to the classic monogram, because the only classic monogram that I like with bags is the Louis Vuitton #1 and the Gucci. But yeah, hey, this is a beautiful bag as well to have in my collection. I actually like the classic Celine box bag. Is the box bag. That is my favorite bag where Celine is concerned. So let's see what else we have. Oh, I have a vintage Miu Miu bag, crossbody, and then a little bit more modernized now. So this is the kind of the modern. It's obviously the same sort of design. It's got a flap, but this is vintage, and the modern one has got a flap as well. And yeah, but one of my favorite bags. The quality of the leather, they actually use lambskin, and I love this blush color, and I used to carry this a lot when I got it. But yeah, so those are some of the beautiful classic pieces that you should keep in your collection if you have. Another classic piece is Chanel. Chanel is one of the oldest classic, or should I say, fashion houses with lots of history. Chanel has lots of history. So yeah, so this is a what was it called? Not the Coco handle. I can't remember the name of this bag, but I know it. So this was designed in the 50s, 60s, and then they redesigned it again. So this is actually both vintage bag. So it was redesigned. It's not the Coco handle. The Coco handle is different. The Coco handle has a stronger sort of handle. I can't remember the name, but I definitely know the name of this bag. Yeah. So this, whoever owned this piece kept it for the longest, and then it's ended up in my collection in lambskin leather, and this is in calf skin leather, but they're both vintage bags. So Chanel is another brand that never ever goes out of style. Whether it was made in the 60s, if I am like nicely dressed, I carry this somewhere to the office or just for an interview. Though I wouldn't like to go for an interview with a Chanel bag. I don't want to show off. So I just picked this one as to show you how fashion has revolved. So this bag is kind of a modern one. So what else? I do have, yeah, another piece of Chanel. So this is another modern reissue Chanel piece, One of my favorite colors is gray. I love gray, and I do like this design, the reissue, and I like the size of it, the rectangular size. One of my favorite bags, and it's in calfskin. That's a good thing about it. It's not lambskin like this one. This one you go to baby, it's a bit because it's lambskin, but this one I don't have to. So again, all vintage bags. I think I have one more or two. Oh, I just wanted to show you the classic Alma. So this bag has been in existence as well for a long time, and it is been redesigned a little bit. The modern one doesn't look this boxy, but obviously they still make it exactly in this canvas and in this monogram, and it's also made in the damiers as well, or the damier ebene. So another classic to hold on to if you have it is the Alma Louis Vuitton. Very beautiful bag. And then another classic piece that I have, I actually picked out the oldest one. I do have a lot of Speedy bags. Like I said, I bought my daughters one each, but they're not interested in them. So I picked out one in my collection, which is the oldest piece. And it is the vintage Louis Vuitton Speedy. Love this bag as well. So if you have a Speedy, the Speedy never goes out of fashion. It's been in existence from, I don't remember when it was made, but I've read about it. I think, is it this late 60s or 70s? Yeah, so that's when they came up with this bag, and it's a popular Louis Vuitton brand or design, and I love it so much. And I think that's it. That's all the bags I wanted to show you. The bags that you should keep if you have in your collection, because they do come back. Yeah, so like the Speedy, if you have it, don't sell it. I do have a collection because I know the Speedy will always be classic. It will always be there. They're still making it up to now. So, and the Alma as well, they're still making it. So I think that's all that I wanted to share with you, some of my vintage bags. Thank you so much for your time. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. If you are new, you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to watch more of my videos. Anything to say, leave me a comment down below. I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much, and it's bye for now.